Hi guys, from this month's BBC Good Food magazine, I actually made two separate recipes. First up was this courgette and lemon risotto, and it turned out really well, but because I often find risotto textures hard to get just right, before I made this separate recipe, this ajo blanco, a beautiful chilled white Spanish soup, a bit like gazpacho, but made with almonds and garlic, and in spite of how creamy it looks and was, it's actually totally vegan. I'll put the link to that video in the description below. First off, for the risotto, you're going to need to put on some vegetable stock. I'm making a really dilute vegetable stock so it won't concentrate and make the risotto too salty. So that's 1 stock cube in a litre of boiling water. Then melt about 50 grams of butter in a large frying pan. As that's melting, take 1 onion and dice it up as finely as you can. And then when that's done, go ahead and add it to the melted butter. Give it a quick stir and allow it to cook over a medium heat for 8 minutes or until they start to turn golden. Then take 2 cloves of garlic and finely mince them up. Now set that aside while you finely grate the zest of 1 lemon. And make sure you keep that separate to the minced garlic. Now go ahead and halve and juice that whole lemon. And make sure to fish out any seeds that might get into it. Those things will taste horrible if you bite into them. Now finely grate 50 grams of parmesan on top of the lemon zest. Though I was really low on parmesan, so I used a mix of parmesan and this pecorino. You can grate it on top of the zest because they'll both be added at the exact same time, so it doesn't matter if they mix, but just keep them separate to the garlic. So now, after 8 minutes, the onions are looking probably a little more golden than I would have liked, so add the garlic and let fry for 1 minute. If I was doing this again, I'd probably prep the garlic and lemon before the onions went on the heat, just to make sure that I would have had plenty of time. Which I guess I didn't, did I? So now add 180 grams of risotto rice, here I'm using arborio, and just stir it up to make sure that all the rice grains are nicely slicked with that oniony, garlicky butter. Now add a good ladleful of that vegetable stock and stir often until almost all that liquid is absorbed. As that's cooking, take 250 grams of courgette and just dice them up. Once you notice most of the liquid has been absorbed, go ahead and add your lemon juice and another generous ladle of vegetable stock and go in with your diced courgette. Give that a really quick mix before you go in with the leaves of 2 sprigs of lemon thyme. Just the leaves though, and if you can't find lemon thyme, don't worry, just regular thyme will be fine as well. Now just continue stirring until almost all the liquid is absorbed again. In which case you add more stock and stir that until it's all absorbed as well, and keep going until the rice is nice and tender and cooked. I should say that I did use almost all that litre of stock, I just had a little bit left over when the rice was done. Be sure to taste it to make sure the texture is just right and the seasoning as well. Once you're happy with it, go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of creme fraiche. Mix it in slightly before you go in with your grated parmesan, and deep down underneath all that cheese is the lemon zest, you can see it there. And now just mix all that in as well. You might be thinking that looks like a lot more than 50 grams of parmesan, and I guess it could be, I can't say that I weighed it, but if you saw the cheese before and after I grated it, you would say that not much was gone at all. I think the finer you grate something, the more volume it occupies. So this is the kind of texture you want, a nice kind of dropping consistency, and the rice was cooked perfectly. It was not one bit stodgy or anything like that. It was perfect. Then I just served up and scattered some more finely grated parmesan on top and just dug right in, and it was so good. If you like this recipe, feel free to check out my website where you'll find loads more recipes like this, about 100 now at this stage. And that's it. Thanks a million for watching, guys. I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button below and the subscribe button below, and share it with your friends on social media. You'll find all my social media accounts in the description below, as well as that ajo blanco recipe at the start of the video, and the link to my blog where you'll find the full recipe at www.rookiecook.org.